Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. Did a fair amount of talking today, man. My voice is gone. Now we're on our way to the gym. We got our first pull session of the week. Definitely more of a back thickness style workout. A lot of rowing. Now, absolutely, guys, you can break up this frequency and do like for example. Okay, let me put it into perspective a little bit. Put a little spin on it here. For me, in like my back training today, it's pretty much all rowing. It is all different rowing variations, very much so tailored towards building that thick, dense back. You can almost call it a density day of sorts. Then my second pull day of the week on Thursdays is much more tailored toward detail. What I mean by that is I'm trying to hit very, very specific parts of the back, which the back is a strong suit for me. It really is. It's one of my stronger body parts. So it's one of the reasons I've kind of put my training how it is right now. There are certain parts of my back, however, I really would want to bring up a little bit more. My lats, and especially my lower lats, are definitely one of those areas, or two of those areas, I guess, logically. Doesn't mean I don't want to continue to build more density. Of course I do. But it's why I've separated my workouts that way, where I have like a density day or a thickness day, and then kind of an attention to detail day for back in those pull sessions. But you could split that up. You could, absolutely. You could do like one or two rowing movements today, and then like a pull down and a pull through movement or something like that, or a pull up movement. And then you could do another one or two rowing movements in your second pull day with another different pull down or pull up or pull through variation or whatever, single arm work or what have you. You can mix them that way. You totally could. This is just what I like to do. It's just kind of I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy doing that, and that's a really big part of your split, is actually having that enjoyment, and making sure that the frequency and the amount of volume is still there. Like, if the frequency and volume is still there, you're good to go for sure. So regardless, that's how I like mine. Because obviously, like when I do like my lat bias pull day later on in the week, there's absolutely no doubt I'm going to have some trap work in there, gonna hit some rhomboids and some upper back and all that kind of fun stuff, and then hit those muscle groups as well, just not as directly. So again, you can absolutely split it up half and half and do it that way, or you can do it kind of like I have it, where we have a day much more tailored towards density rowing based movements. And then a day that is, again, best way I can word it is like an attention to detail kind of day. Up to you how you want to do that. It's just a little tip for you, So, regardless, yeah. So we're on our way to go do that. Pretty solid. Already in the fourth week of school, which is weird. That's, I guess, kind of the one perk of starting before Labor Day is it already kind of seems like we've been in school for a while. Like, it's weird that we're starting out the fourth week of school already. Dude, I'll tell you what, if you are a prospective teacher or somebody who is in school or interested in becoming a teacher, or you are currently in the process of becoming a teacher, or you're already a teacher and you watch this channel, as well, I think you can back me up. The school year goes fast, man. It really does. Like, it's crazy to me that this is already my fourth year of teaching, and it's crazy to me that we're already, what is it? September 16th. Already over halfway done with the month of September. Like, I'll tell you what, man, as a teacher, for me, I always tell my students, I'm like, look, first couple months, like, we don't got a whole lot of breaks. We don't have a whole lot of this or that or the other thing. It's kind of a straight shot. But once you hit Thanksgiving break, so roughly that third or so week in November, you might as well say the school year's over. And what I mean by that is it moves pretty quick up until November. But then November hits, and it is so fast, man. You got Thanksgiving break, you're back for 2.5, 3 weeks, then you got 2 weeks off for Christmas, then you come back, it's already the new year when you come back, and then you have spring break, a couple months after that, and a variety of random days off and long weekends and stuff like that in between that, and then when you come back from spring break, it's already, into April and all that. It goes so fast, man. It literally goes so fast. It's crazy. Like, I guarantee it will be summer break before I know it. Like, and this school year's just getting started, but it just moves so quick. And the way I teach too, like, I really am very much so, I would say, very involved. Like, I do a lot of presenting, like kind of like lecture style based teaching, but with a lot of questions in between for like my students to answer. Or at least I try my best to do as many good questions as I can. So then I get to hear from them. But my day goes by so fast because of that. Like, I've never been the teacher to do like, a lot of worksheets and crossword puzzles or vocab quizzes and all that stuff. Like, we have assessments every week, and my students get graded very heavily on their participation and how they communicate with me in class as well. But it's just one of those things where, again, I love teaching that way, where I communicate a lot, because I just couldn't imagine like assigning reading and then having students like do the reading and then fill out a worksheet, and then I just grade the worksheet and just do that like over and over again. And then we have like a test, and every once in a while a random project. Like, it just sounds very unappealing to me, I guess. I don't know. I'm ranting on here, but regardless, hey, top set of, we do have some Smith rows, because I will be doing some good mobility work beforehand. So you have some upper back Smith rows coming at you right about now. All right, so first exercise on the docket here is that upper back bias Smith row. I will say this, it's a mistake I made. I think I talk about it on the outro too. I'm doing this voiceover quite a few days later than this workout here, but what I ran into, the only issue I had, is the form was nice and solid, but the hooks from the Smith machine kept on getting stuck because I didn't roll them back far enough. So I kept on, like, you see the hooks kind of like retract back there. That's the position they should be in the whole time, but they rolled forward based on my grip a little bit. So that was kind of frustrating to say the least, but still felt really good. We did 2 working sets of this. Or actually, no, I think we did 3 working sets here. 2 at 2 1/4, and then 1 at 2 and 10 here. Felt really good. Absolutely blasted the upper back. Then we have some chest supported rows, again, mainly targeting towards the upper back. You'll see that I sit in that back portion for a moment, get a nice full stretch. And that's, for me, I think that's where I feel this exercise the most, is when I drive the elbows back and then sit and squeeze in the back. You don't have to sit in that back portion there, but I prefer that. It just feels good. That's where I connect with it the most. So give it a try if you feel like sometimes you can't really connect with your back. Back is one of those body parts where, there are definitely certain movements where I sit in that back portion, like right, I'll show you just to make sure we're on the same page here. This part right here, I will sit back there sometimes and really squeeze the musculature through the back. So we did 2 working sets here. Felt really, really good. Again, I would highly recommend keeping this in that 8 to 12 rep range or so. Then some Meadows rows here. Felt good. Again, make sure that we're not twisting the torso too much. We really want to keep that torso twist minimal. We want to really drive that elbow back and out ever so slightly. So try not to tuck it back too much or tuck it in too much, but really try to drive that elbow, almost have it in a relatively flared position, not too flared out though, and drive it towards the ceiling. Again, I would highly recommend keeping this in that 8 to 12 rep range. Felt really good. So 2 working sets there. Then we have some mag grip, close grip pull downs. So I love these grips. This is the one exercise for back you will see me not use Versa grips for. I've actually found using the mag grips, just based on like the shape of the handles, it's much easier to use these kind of grips without a Versa grip. Definitely is something that you can do if you really want to use a Versa grip on top of this, you can. But for me, I've found just for the like positioning of the hand and all that, I have found better success with it without using the Versa grips here. So felt really good though. Did 2 working sets. Got a nice full range of motion. We're driving that bar or the handle down really towards the mid to lower chest. It's up to you. Get a nice squeeze through that musculature in the back. You'll even hit a little bit of lats here, especially if you're driving those elbows down and through. But I definitely feel this more in kind of the mid upper back for how I pull this down. So it feels really, really good. Can get some awesome pumps out of this. And this was actually the ending of the back portion of this pull day. Then we had some dumbbell rear delt rows here, sitting at a nice angle here. I'd say at least about a 45-degree angle. And again, we're bringing those dumbbells slightly together and driving them out and back. So getting a nice pump in the rear delts. I'd say this is has become a bread and butter movement for me. Absolutely will stay in this next training cycle, because speaking of that, make sure that you tune in here over these next couple weeks. I do have a few more uploads beforehand, but I'm in a deload week right now, which came at good timing because I got some food poisoning a little bit from some Chipotle, unfortunately. So I feel like I'm finally kind of starting to come out of that today. So it's my first day. It's a Sunday when I'm recording this now. But I am in my deload week. And we are, because I did 2 6-week training cycles, we are actually in a new training cycle. So you'll see quite a few different exercises that I don't normally run here over these next couple of weeks. So that'll be exciting. Hit a few different angles, different parts of the body, and
we'll do that for 2 6-week training cycles and then come back to what we did here. So felt really good, nice and strong. I do recommend keeping this a little bit higher rep range. 12 to 20 reps seems to work really well for me. Did 3 working sets there. Then, instead of dumbbell preacher curls, I noticed I was getting, I was accumulating a lot of fatigue from dumbbell preacher curls. So what I did is I opted for a machine preacher curl, and this felt awesome. Really felt like I was able to get a nice full range of motion. Was able to use a little bit more weight than I am able to use with a dumbbell, of course, and really could lock in good and just squeezing the crap out of each, out of the biceps here. Again, with this kind of training, I would not really recommend dipping below that 8 to 10 rep range. I would say 8 to 15, really even like 10 to 15, 10 to 20, I think would be ideal here. We did 3 working sets of this exercise, of course, per arm, and felt really, really good. Felt nice and strong, was able to get some really good contractions, felt awesome. Then has become one of my favorite exercises ever, the 1-arm cable hammer curl here. This one, if you watched my last pull day, which would have been my last upload here, because I had some issues with my second leg day of the week. So what you'll see here is for this pull A session, I have I opted to have hammer curls in this one as well. So you'll see I take only a couple steps out from the actual cable stack, keep those pulleys, keep that pulley in a little bit of a lower position, not super high from the ground, maybe 1 or 2 notches up, and really, really squeeze in the bicep. Okay, I like to keep that elbow pretty stationary to the side of my body for the most part. This one, I believe we did 2 working sets per arm, at least 2, maybe 3, but definitely at least 2, because I usually opt for 5 to 6 total working sets of bicep work in both my pull sessions. So felt really, really good. Definitely getting stronger on this one. And yeah, man, it was a great session altogether. So loved it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got a lot out of it. And I can't wait to show you guys the new movement soon.
Pull A session in the freaking books, man. Great stuff. Felt awesome. Awesome workout. Felt good and strong. Connected with the parts of the body I was trying to connect with really well, for sure. It's great stuff, man. It's great stuff. Yeah, I gotta train. If you can't hear the little choo-choo in the background. I will say the only part, and not a rock. It didn't get off to a rocky start, but I've had it happen from time to time where I guess I'm just not like thinking about it, and I'm just trying to go. You know what I mean? Get into that top set. But I've had this happen from time to time where when you unrack the weight on a Smith machine, sometimes the hooks will like bang into the little notches on each side of the Smith machine. And that's what happened today. I like unracked it and everything seemed whatever. It seemed fine, but then I noticed when I started actually rowing the weight, it was like kind of wanting to lean forward and the hooks were getting like caught on the little notches on the Smith machine. So I know I talked about it in my voiceover, but that was really the only part of my workout that I was like, oh, dang it. So next week we'll be a little bit more leery of that for sure and go from there. But felt really good. Felt nice and strong, like I said, connected well with the body parts I was trying to hit, so that was cool. And yeah, man, it was a good session. It was a really good session. Had some good pumps going. Definitely am starting to, or not even starting, but definitely continuing to see that good thickness be accumulated. This is definitely my most productive off season as of yet. I've been really cautious about what I've been eating and still following a really strict off season diet. Haven't really had any, I think since I've been in the off season, so since my show, and that was the second week of June, and now it's the second week of September, so we're talking a good 3 months ago at this point. I think I've had a total of, I would say, right around 5 off-plan meals in about 3 months. So been very strict, been very cautious of what I've been eating, really avoiding things that, bother my digestion, and it definitely is showing. I'm obviously not peeled by any means. I'm definitely not shredded, but I'm also probably 25 pounds above stage weight at this point, or pretty close to it. So it's as to be expected. We have seen, by the way, when this video comes out, at this point, I have bumped food a little bit, just a little bit, bumped it back up, because if you guys remember, if you've been following my channel now for a while, there was a period of time where I had a pretty drastic bump in food post-show, and even higher than what I'm eating now. And I just was having some big time digestive issues, wasn't able to really, for a little while, like I was running that diet for a little while, and I noticed it's just like I just couldn't process the food how I wanted to process it, put it that way. So back down the food, and then kind of have slowly been chipping away at building that back up, and that's where we're at now. So we have been slowly adding in food, very little bit more protein, very small amount more, and decent chunk of carbs more, But when I say that, really all I'm referencing is like an extra 10, 15 grams of rice per 2 of my meals, and then extra potatoes in the evening. Again, 10, 15 grams extra. So it's not a lot. It's very minimal. And then in the evening for my dessert, I usually have either 2 or 3 of these caramel rice cakes, and either like an apple or a peach or some grapes. That was like some frozen grapes, some sort of fruit. It's usually like fruit and some rice cakes, and that's essentially about it. So I do have my little kind of off-season dessert. It's kind of a nice little treat for me for sure. So I really dig it. But anyways, yeah, man, great stuff. I don't know what this guy's trying to do here. Sorry, got a little distracted there. I'm trying to balance driving and doing some sort of effective voiceover. Yeah, I had a feeling that guy was going to do that. Yeah, it's better. Regardless, yeah, great stuff. Next session that'll be uploaded for this one will be another quad day, so make sure you check that bad boy out. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of the support as our channel continues to grow. Emphasis on the our channel, man. I really do see this as a little growing community, so it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun. So again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and continue to follow along with it, man. It really does help out the channel, helps me out, and we're just continuing to grow, man. It's exciting. So like and share the video, and drop any comments, questions, or feedback down below. Y'all know I really appreciate it. But yeah, heat wave here in Michigan, man. It's hot. I'm gonna go home and get ready for tomorrow, get my post-workout meal in, and do it again. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. Consistency is king in this sport, baby. It really is. Consistency is absolutely king. So regardless, I'm hoping that y'all have an awesome rest of your day wherever you're at or whenever you see this video. God bless. And for today, I'm the Natty Teacher, and this, again, of many episodes left. We still got a long road to go with this, major goal, but another episode of Road to Natty Pro down in the books. I will catch y'all on the flippity flop.